The Velkari had made many mistakes in their 3,000 years of galactic diplomacy, but none quite like the one they made with Cara Chen. It began, as it always did, with good intentions. The Velkari, a species of towering fur-covered beings who resembled Earth's long-extinct dire wolves, prided themselves on their understanding of lesser species. When humanity had finally achieved faster-than-light travel and stumbled into Velkari space, the Council of Elders had deliberated for weeks on the appropriate welcoming gift. "They are packless," Elder Thren had observed, watching footage of human cities through their observation arrays. "They live in artificial dens separated from nature, from the hunt. They have forgotten what it means to belong," the other elders had agreed. Humans were clearly a broken species. Technologically capable, yes, but spiritually hollow. They needed guidance. They needed purpose. They needed cubs. Cara had arrived at the Velkari homeworld as Earth's first official ambassador, a role she'd earned through her work in xenobiology and her uncanny ability to connect with non-human intelligence. She'd studied their language, their customs, their hierarchical pack structures. She'd bowed in the correct manner, offered the traditional hunting songs, and presented gifts of Earth's finest preserved foods. The ceremony had been beautiful. Thousands of Velkari had gathered in the Great Hall of Ancestors, their silver and black fur gleaming under bioluminescent moss. Elder Thren himself had descended from the high platform, carrying 3 small bundles. "Cara of Earth," he had proclaimed, his voice carrying the harmonic overtones that marked formal Velkari speech. "Your species walks alone in the darkness. We gift you these cubs, orphans of our recent border conflicts, so that you might learn what it means to belong to a pack. Raise them as your own. Let them teach you the ways of the hunt, of loyalty, of family." The 3 Velkari cubs had been placed in her arms. They were perhaps 8 weeks old, their eyes barely open, their tiny claws flexing against her suit. They made small chirping sounds, seeking warmth. Cara had looked down at them, then up at the thousands of assembled Velkari, then back at the cubs. Her expression had been unreadable. "Thank you," she had said quietly. "I accept this gift with the respect it is intended." She had left the next morning, the cubs secured in specialized carriers aboard her ship. The Velkari had congratulated themselves on their wisdom. Surely the human would return in a year or 2, transformed by the experience of raising Velkari young, ready to truly join the galactic community as a junior member of their pack. They had not expected her to return in 6 months. They had certainly not expected what she brought with her. The ship that entered Velkari space was 3 times the size of the vessel Cara had departed in. It bore Earth military transponders, but its hull was painted with neither weapons nor warnings. Instead, it carried symbols the Velkari translators struggled to interpret. Conservation Corps, Wildlife Rescue, Interspecies Welfare Initiative. When Cara disembarked, she was not alone. Behind her came Vorin, a massive human male whose scarred face and cybernetic arm marked him as a combat veteran. He carried a datapad and wore the insignia of Earth's elite Ranger Corps. Behind him came 73 more humans, each wearing similar uniforms, each carrying equipment the Velkari sensors identified as non-lethal, but highly sophisticated. Behind them came the cubs. All 3 of them, now considerably larger, wearing small harnesses and moving with the confident swagger of healthy young predators. They chirped happily when they saw the assembled Velkari, clearly recognizing their own kind. Elder Thren descended once more, confusion marking his body language. "Ambassador Cara, we are pleased to see you return. The cubs appear healthy. Have you come to—" "Elder Thren," Cara interrupted, her voice carrying a steel that hadn't been there before. "I need to speak with you about your orphan crisis." "Our— what?" Vorin stepped forward. His datapad projected a holographic display. "In the past 20 years, your border conflicts have produced approximately 47,000 orphaned cubs. Current Velkari protocol places them in mass care facilities, where survival rates hover around 38%. Psychological damage in survivors is near universal." The elder's ears flattened against his skull. "You researched our—" "We didn't just research it," Cara said. And now there was something fierce in her eyes, something that made the Velkari instinctively step back. "We experienced it. You gave me 3 cubs, Elder, 3 infants who had lost everything. Do you know what humans do when we find orphaned young?" She didn't wait for an answer. "We raise them. We feed them every 2 hours. We stay up through the night when they cry. We teach them to hunt, to play, to trust again. We build them a family." She gestured to Voran and the others behind her. "This is Dr. Sarah Martinez, Xenobiological Pediatrics. This is James Wu, Trauma Counseling Specialist. This is the entire staff of Earth's first interspecies rescue operation." Voran's scarred face split into a grin that was all teeth. "We're hunters, Elder Thren, but not the kind you think. We hunt for lost children across the stars. And we're very good at our job. You cannot simply—" Elder Thren began, but Cara cut him off. "Your cubs taught me about pack loyalty. Elder, they taught me that family isn't just blood, it's who you choose to protect, who you refuse to abandon." She knelt and the 3 young Velkari pressed against her, purring. "You wanted to teach me to hunt? Congratulations. You succeeded." The datapad flickered with new images, facilities, equipment, training programs. "We're proposing a joint operation," Voran continued. "Earth provides expertise in orphan care, trauma recovery, and foster systems. You provide cultural knowledge and resources. Together we address this crisis. And if we refuse?" Elder Thren asked quietly. Cara stood, and the 3 cubs stood with her, forming a protective triangle around their human. "Then we'll do it anyway. We've already secured funding from 17 Earth governments and 23 private organizations. We have volunteers waiting. We have ships ready." She smiled, but it wasn't a pleasant expression. "You taught me one thing correctly, Elder. Humans do need pack. And now you're looking at mine." Behind her, 73 hunters stood ready not to kill, but to save. Elder Thren looked at Cara, at the army of rescuers behind her, at the 3 thriving cubs who had once been destined for a mass facility and a likely death. He thought of the 47,000 others waiting in similar darkness. Slowly, his ears lifted. His tail began to wag. "It seems," he said, "that we have much to learn from humanity after all." Cara's smile softened. "Then let's hunt together, Elder, for the children."